afternoon, everybody. I hope I can speak louder. As it's not helpful that it's arranged as if we're in a class. It makes it too formal. Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Olushola Ajide, and I want to thank you all for the privilege of being here to speak this afternoon with you about the elephant in the room, the issue of loneliness. Loneliness. Now, I'll start by just saying that the doctor there, I'm not a medical doctor, is an academic doctor. So calm down. All right. So let's start this way. How many of us had the privilege of contacting COVID? It's a privilege. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 11. Okay. So I'm the last person. How did it feel when you were speaking earlier about your experience?
How did I feel? I was quite frustrated because I've been really good at not sort of exposing myself to anything. And then I'm on a Petrofac sponsored event. It's like a tractor. I came on, I think on the Sunday I thought, I can't believe I've got a Petrofac event, it's really annoyed me. But I mean, emotionally I think, no, I felt fine, I just felt awful. Truly very, very unwell. And it was quite interesting because my wife isolated me for 10 days in the bedroom and would leave food outside. And I don't know where your question's headed, but it is quite lonely when you're stuck in your room on your own and you can't get out, and all you get to see is a tray of goodies outside. So yeah, it felt quite isolating.
And you are treated like a pariah. See,
Always
once you're coming, Dodge is coming. Now that's the challenge that we all face. And the key point today I want to leave with you is that that's for those people who have COVID. But the argument I'm making here today is that we are all lonely. We don't want to admit it, but in fact, we are all lonely. And hopefully, in a couple of minutes, we'll be able to just look at some things, not more of an academic talk, no, just to share ideas together, look at your own ideas, and just give some of these things you already do them actually. You already know them. It's just to look at it from a different perspective and see how we can all be our brothers or our sisters, if you like, keeper, because loneliness is an issue. Okay? Now, we will love you to follow us on the social media. I'm the CEO of the Bridge. It's a charity, a registered charity that tackles and provides social intervention projects in the city of Aberdeen. And now we've extended even into Aberdeenshire and even into Moray, the activities of Aberdeen Linking Lives, which is the befriending service. We provide service into all those places. And you know, before COVID, loneliness was already a pandemic. Then when COVID now came, it not raised to power, if you like, infinity. And that's the challenge. So, on the social media, you can find us, and here's a case study. I just want you to have a read. And look at. Then I want to get your feedback on that. Any thoughts?
Unsubscribe from LinkedIn.
To what?
Unsubscribe.
The person should just unsubscribe from LinkedIn, isn't it? Any other thought? Come again? Okay.
And that's making me feel
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Oh, you do sense that people put a lot of stuff on social media to make their lives appear extremely interesting. I think through many studies, when you peel away, their lives are not actually that interesting at all, and a lot of it's false truths out there. And people feel more confident by generating a digital persona of themselves that perhaps is an alternative to the way they really are. And I think there's a danger looking at social media that everyone's having a great time and you're not. And I don't think it's necessarily the reality, friend. But I think it plays back to your point about don't compare yourself, we're all very different.
If you were in a walking mood and you demand, maybe that's when it would scare you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were feeling like you are, reading it normally, you'd think, oh, you're rubbish. But maybe if you were feeling a wee bit different about anything.
Yeah, as a new mom as well, it's the same kind of thing where I'll see everyone posting pictures of their kids and their house will be on the background spotless. Mine is like covered in laundry and stuff like that, so I'm like shoving everything out of the way to take a picture, and it's not. And then everyone's like, you have to shove it from the side, so it's not real. But you automatically think, like, I'm really feeling like this motherhood, tackling laundry, and you know what I mean? So you just kind of have to switch your mindset.
And it's not just previous peer pressures, like your group of friends, it's people who don't.
So you could see, we're all having that pressure. And aside from before social media came, there were some pressures. Now social media came and more pressures. Now I didn't put, because of time, I didn't put, when the person that posted this actually, since you don't know the person, I can just speak. She is a mental health specialist. So now can you understand? Our day job is to help people tackle with mental health. So you could see a picture of our personal experience aside from what she does on day to day. And somebody posted and responded to this and said she woke up 3 a.m. and the first thing she went for was her phone and she went to LinkedIn. Then when she said, what's happening to me? So the point is that while we might think that is irrational to go to LinkedIn or every time we go to our phone, it's just because we are all lonely. And we are crying, we are yearning, we're seeming looking for connection. We're looking for someone or somewhere to just connect to. Of course, I know, like you rightly mentioned, some people will not tell you, they will not post online when they're having a meltdown. Can you imagine yourself having a meltdown? And you record yourself. And after you have recorded yourself, you cry. So, okay, now, the next place I'm going to paste this is on Instagram. Let people see how I am looking. So we all come with that facade of everything is prim and proper. So that's the experience. So is mental health weak? Emphasis on our mental health. What is mental health? Emotional, psychological, or social well-being? The real question is, if I ask you today, how are you? And I'm not asking like you do people say, hey, how are you? No. How are you? Are you emotionally, psychologically, and socially well? Everything okay? Irrespective of the fact that there's a baby and the challenges, there's everything. How are you? And if there's a problem with the mental health, the challenge, and this is the reason why we are having this talk, and I'm privileged to be here to talk to us, is because it affects the way you think, it affects the way you feel, it affects the way you act, it affects your mood. And that's pretty much what a human being is. A human being thinks, feels, acts, and if that system is affected, God forbid, it will spiral into the issue of your work, performance at work, dropping the ball, mixing deadlines. At a point, you just said, well, I don't even care. Again, some people might not even want to get out of bed again when it goes into serious state of depression. They just don't care about it. Look unkept, they don't take care of themselves again, up in the pajamas all through the week. But we don't want it to get to that. And that's the reason why, if you answer the question of how are you, you need to do something about it. You need to deliberately say, okay, for your good and the good of your family members and the good of your colleagues at work, there's something that must be done about it. And the key point there is handling of the stress, because like we rightly mentioned, stress family, new child, stress family, husband or wife, children, work pressure, deadlines. It's as if you are being pushed left, right, and center. And if your mental health is okay, you seem to have a way of handling everything and keeping the balance without burning out. But if you are not able to keep a balance, then there might be a spiral situation. And that's the reason when there is mental health challenge, it results, one of the fallout, loneliness. You just want to shut yourself, go into a cave, and don't want to talk to anybody. And like we saw there at the bottom there, you can live alone and not feel lonely. It's a feeling. It's a subjective, distressing feeling of being just alone, of being disconnected from everybody. And social isolation is a lack of social contact. And now if I check your phones now, you check all your phones, you could see perhaps maybe you have 300, 400 people on your phone. The question is, are you connected to those 400 people? How many of them do you actually call it a week? Do you, hey, hi, how are you? How are you doing? Just, I don't have anything to call, just to know how are you doing. Just give a call. So the key point is that loneliness is a challenge. And most importantly, for those who are, it's more common among those who are elderly. At least you have parents, you have uncles, aunts who are elderly, who are, because they have time. At least you came to work 9 to 5, you're here 9 to 5. They don't have anywhere to go to. They just sit down in the morning and that's it till the evening. They're just there. And when you're just alone with yourself, what do? The thoughts, regrets, things that I should have done that. Then they have enough of time. And interestingly, I don't know if you found that. For those who are elderly, the more they grow old, the less the amount of sleep. They cannot sleep so long. So it means they have a long hour to be able to reflect that. But that's just to show you the challenge. As we are all here, even though we are not as advanced like that, the point is that even young people, even children, are now becoming lonely. And I don't know if you are aware, even they're beginning to give children under the age of 5, 6 antidepressants because of the challenge of loneliness. Again, is a challenge and it's affecting. And you see, the interesting thing about loneliness is that when you have a pain in your body, you feel the pain, isn't it? And you can say, oh, I have a pain. I need it to be sorted out, that the medical doctor can be able to look at what's causing the pain and bring ease to you. The same way, you feel pain when you have physical fault or something, the same way you can feel when you are lonely can be felt in the body. And it affects all your physical body. So here's a spotlight on loneliness in the UK by Campaign to End Loneliness. Over 1 million people, aged 65 and above, they are just alone. Already you know them. They're just sitting down on their own. 92% of us find it difficult to tell others that we are lonely. And that's why I asked the question earlier, how are you? How are you? We feel that it might be, they say, you feeling lonely? How? You got everything together? We should be vulnerable to help each other for your own good and for the good of your colleagues and for your family. 13% of us feel lonely all the time. Even though you have your social media, you have, even I'm going to talk about, is one of the ways of tackling it, but you're going to see what I'm going to say about that soon. 33% of people believe others think that something is wrong with them when they feel that, to say I'm lonely, they feel, hey, you're awkward. So how and what leads to loneliness? What are the things that lead to loneliness? Bullying. Now, bullying, even adults. Don't think you think, oh, it's not in the only children. No, even in corporate offices, there's bullying. Moving jobs, moving home, losing a job, the sense of loss of job. And that's why scientifically proven, they said, for those, no, let me not even say that, because we're in the corporate environment. It's talking about losing a job, statistics about losing a job. Let me not say that, because we're all okay. Experiencing discrimination, living in an abusive environment, being a victim of crime, becoming a parent, mentioned earlier, becoming a parent, seems to be in your world, everybody's having fine. Becoming a carer, if you have somebody who is sick, that you have to care for them. Becoming, for those who are homeless, entering a period of poor health, divorce, relationship breakdown. When things are not going again, feel just lonely, everything is just gone. Feel empty. Those who have disabilities, those who are old and retired and moving to care home, and when there's bereavement. There's one of the videos we normally show when we do training of Margaret. Margaret is 94 and has lived in that building all her life. Got married in the same building, and she does everything. So she said the only way she cannot, so she just talks to herself, and people think that she's going not. She just feels that she needs to keep speaking. So bereavement can make people feel lonely. All right. So points, action points. What can we do? Even though you've seen it, I want to get feedback from us. There are other points there. What can we do? Yep. The one even you have seen. Yeah. What can we do? How do I tackle loneliness? Come again? Talk about it. Yeah. Talk about it. I don't know if you know about the main chart in Aberdeen. Yeah. He was doing a program of trying to ensure tackling this issue of loneliness. I've seen one of my slides, I'm going to show you later, in which, particularly among men, there's that issue of masculine ideology that feels that we've got it prim and proper. And not talk about it, about 800 and something persons have died, committed suicide this year alone. More than that now, because this video was some months back. Just in 2022. So there's a need to talk about it. I'm not just thinking, I have it, because by the time you stand alone, you stand on your own, a lot of thought will be going through your mind. Talk about it. And be vulnerable. Just be vulnerable. Just say, well, this is the way I'm feeling. All right, I need to wrap this up now so that we can have other questions. So, nurture existing relationship, invite people, go out for coffee, go out for a trip to museum, just go out, just go somewhere, out of being in the cocoon. And it's interesting that we talk about COVID, working from home, which we were speaking about earlier. How did that help?
Well, working from home doesn't necessarily help the loneliness, because you just don't meet people face to face. It's different looking at a screen. I don't think that's necessarily as good a human contact as being able to be with people. Yes.
So how did you tackle that?
Okay, no, well, I used to go out every day to exercise, so you can go out and you can meet people from the neighbourhood, you bump into people, talk to them, the appropriate government advised distance, actually, I can't recall. But yeah, so I think you need to get out. I mean, some of it's obvious about keeping in contact. Like my poor mum, she's 86, and my father died about 12, 13 years ago. But she lives on the road down in Cornwall, the other side of the country, a long drive away. And I make a point of trying to keep in contact with her every week, but she's not very good to reach out herself, and often complains that no one would call her. Well, but mum, just pick up the phone, phone your brother or phone your sister. Oh yeah, why should I have to call them? Okay, well, I think you're coming from, but yeah, so I think you have to make an effort, don't you, to try and keep in contact.
And that's the point. We have to make an effort. We have to all make an effort. So you scroll through your phone. There are times I look at my phone. I actually didn't intend to call the person, but I was looking for something else, and I saw somebody's name. I said, "Oh no, this person is okay. Hello, how are you?" Just utilize all the contact on your phone. Keep connected. It's helpful. And also during even though now I do some work remotely, it's helpful that even if you're working at home, do something different. I normally dress up the way I'm as if I'm going to work. Have my shower, dress up, put on my tie, sit. I might not wear my shoe, but I sit. Just do something as if you are. Let the body know that you are not. Don't be in the pajamas as if everything. No, you are just trying to create. And like you right mentioned, after a while, take a walk. Just leave that.
I used to speak to my postman every day. That's how bad it was. I
That's
don't know my postman, but during COVID, there's somebody coming out of the house. Let's chat with 2 or 3 minutes to the postman every day. It's crazy. You'd be like, would you stop talking about this?
I think that's great fun. I've been living in the hall or something.
Yeah, yeah. Wrangle from DPD became my best money.
But the point is that it's helpful for you and even for him, because if you get in touch, it's helpful for him because it might just sometimes because we're doing the job, it might be like a chore, and you feel worthless. What am I doing? Just delivering all these things into all this, and nobody cares about me. All those because we all tell ourselves some stories. Nobody cares about me. By the time you come and speak to him, he feels, at least he appreciates me. And that's the feeling. You also feel that, okay, I've spoken to somebody. It helps. It does help. Call a friend, meet your neighbors, young or old, do something, be active. And I said, use social media, sorry about that, the overflow, social media wisely. Underline wisely. There might be time you might need to take, if it's affecting you so much, you might need to take a fast. It happened during the COVID and the news, the number, everything. I just tell my family, I say, hey, today we're not watching the TV. Just take a fast from the TV because the more you hear those things, you think it's not affecting you. You are actually a computer. You are soaking it in. Everything you hear, everything you see, you think, oh no, I just watch it. You're soaking it in. Now, for example, if you do cashier with your friend and you don't like jazz music, and your friend every day plays jazz music, what happened to you the next week when you are back to your own car? Huh?
Yeah, maybe some jazz.
You should have jazz music. You didn't like because, but you see, when it was playing, you didn't like it. But because of repetition, and that's why sometimes the news, I just say, I have enough of news. Just shut the TV or move away from there, because the repetition is doing something to your subconscious mind. I think we can spend time and do some research about your subconscious mind and see how that drives your life. Learn something new skill, expand, do something, new friends. You've been having the same company of friends every time. Move away from what you normally do. Get some new friends. Just do something new. Bring some new spice. And like I mentioned earlier, stay physically active. Now, if you can get some, what do you call it? Those ball bells. Bring it into your room. Maybe before you sleep, or just do something. I do that. Just do something. Just ensure that your body is moving and you're doing something different from what you used to do. Revisit all hobby you've set aside and connect with others who share your interests. New things. Do you have interest about painting, fashion, cycling, artifacts, museum, old places? Just do something different. I need to be running up now. Volunteer to deepen your sense of purpose and help others. And we are looking for volunteers, actually. Male volunteers, actually. Because when it comes to volunteering, the female folk are always very, I have a lot of them volunteers, more, but I need men. And I'm not kidding you. I have on the database more than 30 men waiting for somebody to call them. And they tell you, one of them said, I'm just stuck in this, because he has issues with his left. I'm just stuck in this house, these 4 walls, and it's driving him crazy. So volunteer. It will make you to have a sense of purpose, and you are helping others. I don't know about your organization here. Some organizations give you time based on community engagement. Do something 1 hour for the community, or something that's, that will be helped as part of the corporate social responsibility. Visit your local community wellness group. Talk to people. Check out faith-based organizations, or if you're inclined to that. Get involved in your community by taking on a course. Oh, we just want to, all the litters, the litters will ensure that is done. You be responsible for that and say, well, I'm the champion to ensure that all the litters are taken care of. And those people who are guilty, walking their dogs on the road and allowing the dogs to defecate, I'll be the champion to ensure that all those defecations and we have a clean environment. Do something. Choose a course and do something about it. All right. So that's me done. Any questions? I hope this has been helpful. Any questions? Men are vulnerable. They experience loneliness and are stressed because of masculine ideology of emotional inexpressiveness. Culturally, they just tell the men, you're strong, you shouldn't be emotional, you shouldn't be crying. That cultural conditioning is creating a lot of problems. And that's what led to the men committing suicide. because they don't want to talk about it. And they feel helpless, and they feel lonely, and they don't want to talk about it. There are 1.2 million chronically lonely older people in the UK and 9 million lonely people across the UK. So when I told you earlier that all of us are lonely, it might be relative. It might not be on the spectrum of loneliness. It might not be as chronic as, but there's something, yearning and calling for connection. We believe that none should be lonely. So, my call to action, would you join us to make that a reality? Volunteer with us. Just 1 hour a day, a week. If you cannot go visit someone because of time, you can call someone. You can just, hey, how are you doing? Just check on you to know you're okay, you're fine. Just talk about something. And interesting thing, you're not talking about what you are interested in, you are talking about what they are interested in. My buddy, I've learned a lot from him about being blown out of the helicopter, you know. Man, if you tells you, I was blown out of the helicopter in Angola, traveling in the ships. You hear a lot of stories, and you learn more about these people, and you feel a sense of worth. And you also feel a sense of what is a mutual benefit, you know, like the postman is a mutual benefit. Is a mutual benefit. All right, that's me done. Any question? Any question?
Most of your clients are senior citizens, or do you have some young people upwards, and how do they
Come to
this? How are they referred?
referred. Okay, well, our clients, all our clients are not all. Majority are senior citizens, but we have clients who are 30, 40, 50. There was even a client we had some years ago, she's 23 or 26. So loneliness affects everybody. So how did they come? Referral, because all the GP practice centers in Aberdeen knows about, we have social carers, social prescribers who know about our service, and they refer them. The district nurses refers them. ARI, they refer them. Just go to the website, www.aberdeenlinkinglives.org. There's a referral form there. They fill the referral form and we pick it up. Some people even self-refer. Somebody just said, I've been feeling lonely. I just don't like this. I just need help. I just need to talk to somebody. And they go there, fill the self-referral form, and we pick it up and we look for a volunteer, try to understand them, look for a volunteer who can also meet and have the same.
You match your volunteers.
Yeah, we do the matching. Look at if the type of interest, what do they like doing? Do they like watching TV, EastEnders, Coronation Street, whatever they like? Or some will tell you, I don't even like TV. Okay, what do they like? We know, and look for a volunteer and match accordingly. Because we've been running this project now for more than 3 years, since 2019, and you can see our influence has gone to even to Moray, Banff, Peterhead, Huntley, Inverurie.
It's interesting because I think if you look at the way we live our lives now, and you look at technology, and I think technology is a big problem when it comes to loneliness. As an example, you know, I'm old enough to remember you go to the supermarket, you're having a checkout. Worst case scenario is an old age pensioner in front of you. She's going to chat for 20 minutes, checkout girl. But you reflect upon it, it's probably the only person she's got to talk to. You know, so you get there and you split the queues and think, oh, I might be a lot longer, there's 20 young people, I'll be there. But now they don't get that, because now it's self-checkout, it's digital checkout. You used to go to the bank and do something, you talk to the bank staff, so all that human interface that you used to have all the time, those old enough to remember it, it was constant. You were always talking to people, even in the airport now. You know, you don't talk to immigration, you just put your passport into a reader. The whole way we live our lives sort of encourages isolation to a point. And I just don't think it's healthy. You know, I'll actually go and pick out and say to the checkout so you can go and talk to someone. And it's just, yeah, just the way we live our lives.
What do you think to that response to that?
Yeah, I worked at Safeway, when I was at university. I never understand. I worked on a Saturday morning, Sunday morning. The old people queuing up outside the door to get their newspaper. And I was like, every weekend, it's the same faces that are there. They know when we're opening.
Yeah.
Why are they standing at the doors? Why aren't they still in their beds and everything? But it was to have that 5 minutes of discussion of the same people outside the door, go in and get their paper, and then go home. Just like, mind blown for, a 21-year-old who drag yourself out of the bed.
I think the other interesting thing is I booked an appointment to go to the GP the other day. And you can't just phone up now and say, I'd like to go to the GP. Oh, that's way too simple. You have to fill out a huge form for someone, to decide whether you should or you shouldn't go. But again, I think a lot of people who felt lonely would use their GP as that point of contact. They'd go to the surgery and they'd say they have an aching arm or a dodgy ear. And they didn't think it was pure to get in and have that conversation. Once again, I think the way we live our lives has taken some of that opportunity for people to approach the health service and to actually begin that communication. Because now they start to sit there, they start to fill out the form, and they're in front of them, so like, it's crazy. So again, I don't think society's helped itself to tackle that problem of loneliness. It's quite a sad place for it.
Is a challenge. It's a challenge that we're all facing. Now, the point you made earlier, the research by Co-op found that, and that's when they knew that this was a problem. And Joe Cox, because of our Joe Cox Foundation, now we have a minister for loneliness in the UK because of the pressure she was pushing. That this is a challenge. So the Co-op found out that those old folk come by the same item 4 times in a day. So they go buy maybe milk in the morning, in the afternoon milk, in the evening milk. It's not because they want to they've not finished the one they bought the morning, but because of that social contact. That social contact of meeting with people, talking to people. And that's why they stay at the tea to ensure that they have that conversation. How are you doing today? How is everything today? Everything fine? And my children used to bug me because I know if I'm going on the street, in my neighborhood, I'll just have a wee chat. How are you doing today? They say, oh, you just have friends to do, old people. And that was before I started being involved in this befriending service. Maybe because my personality, I like to be friendly, talk to people, engage people, know how are they doing, how's everything going with them. But the point is that technology is not helping the matter. Actually, technology that should be connecting us actually is. As it happened, it's in my I'm also in my house. You are in one room. Your daughter is in another room. The wife is in another room. And what do?
I mean, chances are in the past you pick up the phone and you phone your mum to wish her happy birthday, or you phone your brother or your sister, and you'd end up having a 5-minute conversation. Today you send a WhatsApp saying happy birthday, job done, I'm off ski. And that doesn't really help either, does it? But I mean, technology, I'm not a great fan, like all this Facebook and Instagram and all that nonsense. If you live your life by it, then it's
Circle of community is totally strong. I stayed with my gran and my mum in their house. My dad, my aunt and uncles all stayed down the street beside that, as did the cousins, as did the neighbours families. So that's left. So, how many people here actually live in the same town that you're working in and living in now from when you were born? Where's your family? Where's all that connection to your family? How do they keep connected? Where I stay now, I've got an estate, probably there's maybe about 100 houses. I'll speak to 3 people. Half that night, I need to have the cats. But from that, it's very different now. We live in the town where my wife's parents were, so we didn't travel too far from them. Own parents were about 6 miles away. But my mum's side of the family, they moved all over the UK and other parts of the world. Once I was once my grand passed, people spread out. I can see the communities where my mum lives as well. There's still some families that are a bit more closer now. But the way that workplace demands, where the work is, for people face to
So the
Don't
point,
take the time out to gender that.
thank you for that. So the point actually is that the takeaway is that for each and every one of us here, how many are we? At least all of us here. From this week going forward, you must do something. If it's once a week, call someone, call your parents, call the people in the community. Just even, it might not be as good as we wanted, even if it's just that text message. At least it shows that you are intentional. It shows you are thoughtful. It shows that I just need to reach out to you. It's been a while. How are you doing? Even if you're not able to do the call, to say, okay, we'll speak later in the week. I've got a project I'm handling right now, but later in the week when everything goes down, we'll have more time to converse. Because you don't want a situation in which a thought flashes to your mind, somebody's name flashes through your mind, and you're supposed to call the person and you didn't call the person, and only for you to hear that the person passed. How would you feel? You feel so awkward, isn't it? And I thought about it, and I almost just called. So that's the takeaway. The action point is that we need to now be intentional. And amongst ourselves, even as colleagues, is to ask the question, how are you? When they say fine, say no, I want to know, how are you? Because we've made it so cultural, it's just like passing. We don't really want to know are you really waiting? So when the person says, okay, I'm very fine, I'm actually okay, everything fine with me, I did this, you don't be asking, were you actually expecting me to give you a feedback? Because when you now begin to run away, it's as if you didn't mean it. You didn't mean to know how the person is actually feeling. All right, I think that's me done, and I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for being part of this, and the demand is still there. We need volunteers. Vacancy. Men are scarce. We need men to volunteer, talk to other men, and help people, particularly with a sense of creating a sense of purpose, a sense of satisfaction that you know that you're able to do, help other people. Because the question is, aside from coming to your job, let me finish by saying this: coming to your job, there is your job or your career, and there's your calling. You don't want to finish working Petrofac for 30 years and you've not actually fulfilled your calling. The reason why you were born. There's a reason why you were born, actually. So the reason why you were born is your calling. Aside from, I'm not being spiritual now. I'm talking about sense of purpose. There's a purpose why you were born, why you exist. And it's more than just you coming to Petrofac and doing your work as an oil engineer, drilling engineer, health and safety. Those are good. Those could help you in fulfilling your purpose or what you were created to do. So you need to find that. And by the time you begin to help other people and reach out in trying to juggle everything together and still create time to say, okay, have I done any contribution, any deposit to my purpose this week? Then you begin to live life. Ensure that at the end of life you have lived. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.